I'm Suzanne Chase. I'm the head of Digital Scholarship and Technology Services at Georgetown University Library, and I'm here with my colleague Rachel Jacobson, the Digital Repository and Preservation Librarian. So we're really excited to be here and share our new Hyku repository, which just launched 2 weeks ago. And Digital Georgetown itself has been in production for a really long time, and we've been on the DSpace platform since 2011. So that served us well, but it was time for a change, and so we're going to be talking about our new Hyku instance. So originally, just for some history, we did plan to implement a Hyrax repository, but shifted to Hyku after testing out some local installations of both platforms. We just kind of originally weren't having a lot of luck with Hyrax and doing some new architecture with Fedora 6. And we attended the Virtual Connect Spring 2022, I believe, and we're really excited to see the energy that was going into the Hyku platform. And I think specifically a lot of the updates that were shared at that meeting were really appealing for us. So that kind of encouraged us to look more deeply into Hyku to see whether that might meet our needs. And it ended up working out well for us. So we decided to go ahead and implement a Hyku repository for Digital Georgetown. Specifically, we were drawn to Hyku for the multi-tenancy aspect. We host our main campus library's collections as well as collections from our law library, which is administratively separate. And over the course of the last decade plus, that's worked well, but has also introduced some pain points. So we like the idea of being able to segment out the law library content from our own. And we also really liked the more fully featured user management module, some of the theming options that came out of the box, although we did end up doing a lot of customization around that. And then, really just the ability for us to add on top of Hyku out of the box, whatever we needed. So I do have a little video here. Hopefully this will play. Just kind of shows you an example of one of our items. This is a publication, an open access publication from Georgetown, from our Asian Affairs faculty and students. So you can see we have implemented the PDF.js viewer. That was one thing that we worked on. And here's a just view of what the item looks like. Let me click back out here. The slide. So here's the same item in our DSpace repository. So we're really excited about the change and what this is going to look like for our users, as well as all of the new features and functionality that are available for our staff collection managers as well. And as I mentioned, we did end up customizing quite a bit of Hyku, specifically for the front end. We did a lot of work around accessibility ourselves. I know that was briefly mentioned previously. And then just kind of the visual look and feel, making things work with our visual identity requirements at Georgetown. And like all repository migrations and customizations, we, did encounter some troubles through that process, but overall things worked out pretty well. And I'm going to hand it over to Rachel now to talk about some of the other work we did around work types.
Yeah, so one of the features that we liked was this emphasis on works as opposed to collections, which is helpful because we are kind of changing the collection structure as we move into this new repository. But yeah, so we decided to go with 3 fairly basic work types for the main tenant. So we have the ETD scholars, which is the stuff from our IR, and then works, which is consisting of the archival special collections type of material. And then we kind of combined the scholastic work type and the archival work type to create our law work type so that they kind of have an all-encompassing work type, which will make it easier for them to manage their resources as well. One thing that's really nice about migrating from a platform that you've been on since 2011 is the opportunity to clean up some of the metadata, and with the work type function, we were able to create a more streamlined metadata profile in general. So one of the things too that you can notice from the previous slide is we have all of our metadata present on our work show page, whereas on DSpace, you actually have to click show all metadata. So that's been really nice too. And it's a way to kind of more easily spot inconsistencies, which again, if you've been running something since 2011, there are going to be some inconsistencies. So yeah, so that's been really helpful. We can move on to the next slide. So we have actually started adding things to the migration, although obviously the migration work begins at, just doing customizations to the platform, testing things like bulk racks and other, admin user aspects of the platform before actually moving our collections over. But so we started the official migration on November 20th. And basically within 3 days, we were able to move almost 2,000 works over to our digital Georgetown Haiku instance and have created 37 collections so far. But again, as I said, there's a lot of work that goes into migrations that don't even include the actual migration of collections. So we did have to do a lot of testing with bulk racks. And actually we have a short video of what it currently looks like. Another improvement from DSpace to Hyku is this collection features functionality. It allows you to see, or it's just more easily, the future function is pretty easy to use. So right now, on DSpace, we've kind of had the same for featured collections, and it's not even apparent what's featured in DSpace. You have to go to our library website to see those. So that will be a huge improvement. And the thumbnails are looking really good. You can more easily make like a visual hero image for different collections. So those types of things can get more regularly switched out, which is another nice thing of Haiku. Yeah, so that was a huge, the bulk racks testing was really helped through like the community of Samvera, getting to talk with people through the water cooler meetings and repository manager meetings and the metadata groups. So that was a huge bonus being part of the Samvera community.
Yeah, in addition to the community being really supportive of this work we've been engaged in, we also were really happy to work with SoftServe. I think it was kind of a newer model for them. We didn't actually hire SoftServe to do any development work for us or do any hosting or installation of software, but we just kind of met with them and talked through a lot of our pain points. So we have a small team. We have one full stack developer, one sysadmin, and one web developer. And so that's our core, development team right there, those three folks. And of course, Rachel and her team on our digital collections and repository management side. So having SoftServe to kind of enhance our team during this really big project and help us through some of the sticky issues we encountered was really great. Doing, both synchronous meetings with them, pairings, as well as chatting with them and the wider community on Slack has been really helpful. And of course, we had lots of help from our wider library colleagues with expertise in lots of different areas. So we're just getting started with our migration and hope to be shutting down our DSpace repository by the end of the summer, realistically. And then we'll be, of course, continuing to do more work on our Haiku instance and excited to be more engaged in this community. Thank you.